Hey there. So I know growing up is very difficult. I remember growing up many years ago in high school, junior high, that kind of stuff. Life was difficult. Life has not gotten easier. There's a lot of challenges when it comes to going through school, getting through those challenges. Many uh, difficulties with, bullying, peer pressure, self-confidence, self-esteem, mental health issues, substance abuse, and then just the stress of going through school and working on grades. It's all difficult. I remember, thank goodness, I had friends that were very very good. We were proactive. We tried to do things that were positive, build ourselves up, working out, rock climbing, instead of just hanging out. But how do a lot of people, young men these days, deal with some of that stress? They might deal with the coping mechanisms they use. Maybe they decide they eat. Eat gives them some sense of short-term pleasure or release from that stress short term. Escaping through video games, escaping through social media, and venting with friends, escaping through drinking, through smoking, through porn. Is there a better way to cope with these difficulties in life? And I can tell you there is, absolutely, there's better options. And the best thing a young man can do today is start building up himself, becoming physically fit. There's this connection between mind and soul and your body. If you can build that up, become stronger physically, it helps you mentally and emotionally. There's a scripture that talks about how important our bodies are. In 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, it says, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own. You were bought with a price, so glorify God in your body." The things that we do with our bodies, hopefully would positive and glorify God's name. This body is on loan. It's not mine. I didn't make it. I'm borrowing it from the Creator. It's my job to improve it, to make it the best I can. All of the decisions I make physically have an impact on that. What I eat, how I eat, what I eat, when, and what you drink. It all matters. We're accountable. It all makes a difference. This is a gift we've been given. And how we use that gift and show God how we appreciate it will pay dividends. We really have to live for tomorrow, not today. When do you start planning for retirement when it comes to financial goals? Do I want to live as a poor person, or do I want to have the lifestyle I have today or better? I start today by planning, setting money aside for retirement. The same thing goes with your health. When do you start planning for good health when you retire in your golden, days, golden years? You start today. The decisions I make today have a long-term effect on how my health is in retirement. I've heard many men my age talk about some of their regrets. Sometimes it's regrets with playing football or some really aggressive sports where they got injured and now they're paying the price, arthritis or different joint replacements and all this stuff because of what they did in their teens and their 20s. So it's huge. All those decisions matter. Guard your health. You can't get it back. It's hard to get good health back, but you can guard it. My father-in-law talked about some of the regrets that he had. He was a milkman. I don't know if you even know what that is, but he also was ice man. He'd deliver ice when you used to use, blocks of 100-pound blocks of ice to help refrigerate your food. So he'd put these blocks of ice on his shoulder and jump off the dock with that on his shoulders. 100 pounds of ice. And yeah, probably didn't affect him right then. He did it quite a bit. But later in life, for some reason, he had shoulders issues. He had issues with his knees. he had issues from the decisions he made. So there's so many benefits though of working out, becoming physically fit. You know, improves your mood, your self-esteem. It provides you a sense of accomplishment. I can do hard things. I set these goals physically and I can accomplish those things. It gives me greater self-esteem, confidence. It improves your cognitive abilities. There are studies that have been done that show that with greater physical activity, you can enhance your cognitive function, your abilities, your attention to focus and memory. Trust me, if you put in a good workout, you will have better sleep. You'll be tired. You'll have more energy. It's really weird that you would think if you used a bunch of energy to work out, you would be more tired through the day. I find that if I get a good workout in the morning, it does take energy, but I have more energy throughout the day, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's kind of how it works. Of course, there's social benefits. If you get together with a social group that's involved with staying physically fit, you have that bond together. You know, there's many different types of workouts. You can have aerobic, where you know, swimming, running, cycling, that kind of stuff. You can do strength training, which I recommend. Helps with metabolism. You know, you have to be cautious of what you eat to build muscle, but you end up eating a lot more. So to build that muscle. You know, just start working out. You know, start today. You know, you just need, all you really need is a bench and a set of dumbbells, or one dumbbell. Let me show you some of my stuff. I take a minute here. So this is the gym I've got, the basement. First little piece of equipment here is this, where's it go? It's hard to do it this way. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this reverse sit-up machine. That's good for lower back. You can see straight ahead I've got this pull-down machine and squat rack. That's very good. And there's the bench. Got the upper pulley and the lower pulley, so you can do rows at the bottom. Down there, you can't see it, the bench is in the way. And then, yeah, I've got this little Roman chair. You've got a pull-up bar in the back. Bench press, like I said, inclines, declines. And then this is the power blocks. So you can see here, there's how it works, this little pin. If you take the pin out, this is 10 pounds. And then if you want more weight, all you have to do is drop it to different levels. This one goes all the way to 90 pounds. So these are about $800. If you get one that go to 50, that's about half, about $400. But you don't need any of this fancy stuff to get started. All you really need is that set of dumbbells and a good bench. And at first, you probably don't even need that. You don't need a good bench, just get a good set of dumbbells. But yeah, just get started today. I think that's the key point. Some things to think about when you start working out. I would do at least 5 days a week, 45 minutes, so less than an hour. And you want to have the 2-3-3 method. So 2 body parts, 3 exercises, and 3 sets per exercise. So when you start out, you're learning the different movements, the different exercises. You want to probably start out by doing 10 to 15 reps. YouTube, what it means to do a good, like deadlift. There's a way to do it that you don't get injured, and it'll be beneficial instead of getting injured from it. So, and then as you understand those movements, you can decrease the reps and increase the weight to build more muscle, or if you just want to keep the reps high to build more tone, you can use less weight. So there's kind of many different ways of looking at weight training. 2 main ones is you could work complementary muscle groups. So if I'm working my chest. I can work the back. That's opposing. Complementary would be if I work chest, I'm pre-fatiguing triceps, so I can work that the same day. Opposing, like I said before, if I work opposing muscle groups, you can work opposites. Biceps, triceps, like I say, quads and hamstrings, that's opposing. But every day you should be doing stomach, regardless of the two muscle groups. So do two muscle groups plus stomach. So that you can always work that every day. It doesn't need as much recovery time. So it's huge. These things are a great way to live your life. You know, I started in high school like back in 1989. So it's been 35 plus years. It's been a long time, and it's been very helpful for me. But one thing to consider, you know, years ago, I was spending so much, the tendency is people want to have this just huge chest. That's, you know, and so I was working chest, I was working shoulders, and I started getting injured. I wasn't spending enough time on the back and the rear shoulder. You need to be cautious. You need to have that balance. And balance is a huge thing in life. I know years ago I was spending, you know, all this time on working, hours and hours working the body. And then I had this thought one morning, why are you spending all of this time developing your body when you only spend like minutes a day working on your soul? You need to spend at least equal time studying and praying and meditating, thinking as you do trying to develop, you know, your body. So go out and sell that Xbox. Go out and sell the cell phone. You don't need it. Buy some dumbbells, buy a bench. Much better use of your time and your money. So to start out, I'm going to show you a couple different workouts you can do without anything. You know, we all know what a push-up is. There's so many different variations of a push-up. There's one of my favorites is a kind of a 5-second hold ladder. So you do 5 push-ups and then go down. We're just hovering over the ground, and then do 5 more push-ups, but then hold 10 seconds, and then 5 more push-ups to hold 15 seconds, and go all the way up to 25 seconds. That's the goal, or beyond. You can do diamond push-ups. You can put your feet up on an elevated surface like this, and then do elevated feet push-ups. We're working on upper chest. So many variations. You got the dive bomber push-up where your butt's way in the air. Let me just show you a couple of these things. So see if I can position this thing to get it in the right spot. Let's see here, just a second. So let me show you real quick here. So we all know what a push-up is, right? I think they're a great exercise. So see, my butt's way up. Gonna bring that way down. So there we go. Let's try this out. So I go down to where I'm just above the ground, hold it for 5 seconds. Yeah, so you get the idea. It's not a mystery. But yeah, the other thing, so that little dive bomber thing is actually pretty cool. So if you start with your butt way up, see you can bring that forward, and then you end up like that, and then in reverse. So yeah, that helps work the upper chest. A lot of great benefits. You know, if you do that, just even that basic, you know, if you did that ladder up to where you're holding for 25 seconds, trust me, you're gonna feel it in the chest. Probably the first place you'll feel it is in the weakest link, maybe triceps. But if you stay consistent, you get stronger, and it really does help with the mental and emotional strength. And the benefit is if you buy this equipment, invite your friends to come over. Have a little competition. Build yourself up, help build them up, you know. Instead of causing trouble at the mall, you can go work out together. Or, you know, here locally, you can spend $10 a month and go to Vasa. Money well spent. But the bottom line is, stay consistent. Your body will respond. Keep doing it, even when you're sore. It's a good sign. You're doing it right. There is a difference between, you know, being sore, injury feelings. You'll know the difference. If I feel injured, there was a lot of variations in different exercises I had to do, so I didn't get injured, especially as I have gotten older. Certain things I don't do. I don't do a lot of squats. It hurts my lower back. But I still do deadlifts, and I think they're a great exercise. Bottom line, you were built to be a warrior, not a gamer. You were built to conquer, not to be conquered. You were built to defend truth. You were built to succeed, not to fail. Jesus conquered all things. He will be your guide to success. He will be your shield and your sword. If you put him on your side and you walk with him, you will not fail. I hope this helps.